that was the first thing that I was shocked. Like, oh my God, how many women are doing this? And they don't know they could be feeding cancer before my 4th chemo. I told my husband, if they don't change this, this is it.
Welcome again to I Had an Accent, So What? Monica, do you have an accent?
Oh my God, you don't want to know.
You're going to be a witness of that. But today I have and you guys hear me this, but today is a very special person because this is a fighter, a warrior. And we know Monica for many years. You used to be a realtor with us. But most of all, Miss Monica Bonilla not only has an MBA, she's a realtor. At one point, she was a mortgage broker. She did 3 years of law school. She did photography. Now she is the official photographer of everybody in Central Florida. Branding coach, speaker, accounting instructor.
Oh my God, you went through my whole resume. Oh my
But
God.
the most beautiful thing that she has, she's my butterfly socializer.
Aww.
Okay?
Wow.
So this is Miss Monica Bonilla. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come to this space.
My honor, Gea. My honor to be here with you.
You guys gonna hear today not only of her extensive resume, very intelligent woman that inspire all of us. We're gonna be talking about a very special awareness that every woman needs to hear today. But I also want to know more about Monica because we know all the success that you have, how amazing of speaker you are, teacher, branding, social media. I mean, talking about a tiny little girl with her, like her, that has so much layers. But I want to go more into other layers that many people don't know. But to me, it's an honor that you accepted this with the challenge that we're going through life.
It's a challenge. No, you make me feel very comfortable here. Thank you, Gea.
Thank you for coming.
And the admiration is mutual.
Isn't she sweet? Like this woman, when I see your pictures with that, by the way, you're so photogenic. Which at one point you told me that I was photogenic too. So, for a photogenic person to a photogenic picture over there, and she takes it. I mean, you inspire all of us. So active on social media, so open that you are to inspire others. But the most beautiful thing about you, Monica, is that you always are available to have that helping hand. You never said no. And wherever you can help somebody, talking about a true inspiration. But let's start from the beginning, Miss Monica. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. A little nervous.
Don't be nervous. I want to start from the beginning. How was it originally from?
Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico. Caguas, Puerto Rico. Yeah.
How was it growing up in Puerto Rico? At what age you come to United States?
Oh, very late, like 38. I was like 38 years old when I moved here. I had a business there, a store in a major mall in Plaza Las Americas there.
Wow.
When I moved here, I stayed with that like for a year. And I was like, okay, I need to do something here. So that's when I started with real estate, like 21 years ago.
Wow.
I started.
For you to growing up, you came over here already, grown up.
An old lady with my daughter.
Believe me. I'm 40. I wish to be 38.
Yeah, that's true. Now that I have this age, yeah, you're right.
38, you were still young.
But I came to the United States along with my daughter.
Okay.
So
how was that?
Very challenging. Very challenging. It's a shocker, the culture and everything. Even though in Puerto Rico we have a lot of, U.S. Influence. But yes, it's shocking. It was shocking. Like in Puerto Rico, everybody talks to everyone. We're friends to everyone. And then when I moved here, it was like nobody talks to you, not even the neighbors. So it was challenging. But yeah, I was like, oh God, I need to do something here that I can, make money.
Mm-hmm.
And that day I was like doing my landscape, and my next door neighbor, she said hi. So I was like, oh my God, let me take advantage that she said hi. So we were talking, and she said she was a realtor. I was like, oh, good. Then I went to Google and find out how can I get my real estate license. Oh, that's not bad. Let's take it on. And that's when I started.
So you start real estate. How old were you when you started real estate?
38.
38.
Yeah.
So right at 38, you start real estate. Your daughter was how old?
She was in 8th grade. So
in 8th grade. So she was like in middle school.
Middle
13,
school. Yeah.
12. Wow. So you had a teenager.
She was 11 when we moved.
Okay.
She was 1 year advanced.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
11.
you started real estate with, having your daughter. How was real estate back then?
It was totally different. You didn't have social media. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know Orlando. We bought a house a year in advance, mm-hmm. In Orlando. Mm-hmm. And then I decided, hey, I'm paying this house. Let me move. So, it was totally different. But it was challenging, but I like it because I was like, okay, I didn't know Orlando anything about it, and I was supposed to know, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, the only thing that I know is the place I live, mm-hmm. which was Meadowwoods by then.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to become an expert in that area because that was the area that I knew, and I lived there, so I knew everything around. So that's how I started. So
good strategy as a realtor to stay and farm the area that you were living in.
And it's good because most of the houses I saw were in that area. So when I was doing a listing presentation, nobody beat me because I was like, no, I have sold like 4 houses, last month, or, nobody beat me because I was just focusing in farming in that area.
That's impressive.
That's the beauty of doing farming. But we're not talking about real estate.
But
you're
actually,
more real estate than
but you know what? That's a really good strategy because a lot of people are like, Gea, how can I be successful in any career, but especially in real estate that actually is the career that I chose. A lot of people that's what it is. Find your niche, stick to it, be consistent, and you will become an expert. Nobody will be able to beat you.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
And that's what I do with photography. I'm an expert with realtors.
How did that happen? Tell me about how you started the photography. I know, but for my audience that have no idea.
Well, you know that every time I post something at the beginning of this career, I always tag G-World, you, Jeremy, all of you, because you're being an amazing and great part of my journey. And I was doing real estate. I have my license with G-World. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I need some business cards, new headshots. And I was doing that. Then Margie was the one who was like, oh, I like your photos. I want you to take photos. I was like, I don't do that for a living. So then Jeremy called me, hey, you want to do all the realtors in the office? That day was, oh my God.
I remember.
It was challenging. They were like 50 agents. He told me, no, it's going to be like 25. They were like 60 agents there. So
who knows Jeremy knows about that.
Oh my God. It was amazing. So then I was like, I think I can make a living about, out of this. So that's how everything started from there. And other realtors were tagging me on Facebook, social media. So, hey, people started calling me. And since then, I've been doing realtors, most of them.
Your niche, talking about niche, you stuck to one niche. Like in everything that you've done photography, and if you see your whole entire profile, how many years we've been doing photography now?
Oh my God, like 7 years.
7 years, guys. Again, I'm not aging myself, but so you started headshot with real estate, with realtors. I have not, and Margie, which shout out to Margie, that I remember she was your muse, and you talk about that she's your muse, your inspiration. You started doing, like, I remember it was like Halloween shots with her fantasy thing, but you stick to your
Yes.
lane. And that is the same, success. There's a great saying that says success leaves traits. And you're really good, a really amazing woman that knows how to stick, be persistent. And for those, I really want to encourage you guys to follow Monica Bonilla and see her profile. It's incredible. I would say that she has photographed more than 1,000. I mean, 1,000 agents in Central Florida, and every new agent that come into the market, I see you tag in there. And to me, to admire that and see your growth of Jeremy telling you, hey, we're just going to have 25 people, and all of a sudden they're 65, which is another trait that my husband has, that he puts you to the fire, but he doesn't do it in a way to harm you, just to take the best out of you. Yes. And you became an amazing, like, everybody wanted a headshot from this woman over here. And us, the four of us, Yuri, Janita, me, and Jeremy, were always admiring that you will never say no. You push yourself there, and you perfected your craft to the point that we can say you're a celebrity real estate shot photographer. And now branding, a branding coach. Tell me how you connected the photography with the branding.
Well, as you said, I was teaching business and marketing. So that's my main background. And this is the thing that people were calling me to do headshots, right? But then they were asking me, what do you think I should wear? What colors should I wear? So a lot of questions that I found that there was a need of something else beyond a photo.
Wow.
And a lot of people are lost. They don't know what to wear, what colors. So I started like, okay, you should wear the colors of your brand. So if you want to have more aesthetic on your Instagram, what is the purpose of this? So everything is back to your purpose. When you don't know what decision to make, go back to your main purpose. Wow. And there you will find your answer.
Wow.
So I was like kind of coaching everyone for free, kind of, a coaching and headshot plus coaching. I was like, okay, let me start with this. So then I was doing like one-on-one session with Zoom. And if you don't have a strategy, you can put any pictures in the world, best pictures in the world, follow a strategy behind. You're doing nothing. So that's when everything started.
So how important growth is for an individual in whichever career they are? What is growth for an individual, and what growth means to you?
Oh, that's probably subjective. And we can come back to the purpose. And that's why when you do some questionnaires, they ask, and I have a branding questionnaire, because you can, you want to have a page, you will see like Coca-Cola, a lot of brands, Nike, Adidas, they have Instagram, and you can say, okay, these people don't need social media. People are going to buy Coca-Cola anyways, but they're there. But their purpose is not to sell more, is to reminding people that we are here, maybe a social awareness of something. They have different purposes. So depending on your purpose is the success that you will find. So for some people, they want to have more followers. Some people, they want to have more leads. Some people, they just want to have a branding image that they're expert. So because they don't want, some people, they're telling me, I don't want more leads. I have a lot of leads. I have a lot of followers. So they're looking for something else. And deep inside, it's like Maslow hierarchy. Basic needs are the first ones. But when you have already shelter, food, you go to the next level. Then you have another uh, you have other needs until you get to the self-realization, self-actualization. You want to change the world. You want to do something bigger than what you are. So depending on what stage in your life you are, that's the growth you're gonna have for people. And for me, I think I get to the stage that I wanna make a difference, and not not a huge difference because that's subjective. But if I can help one person, that's success for me.
Beautiful words. Couldn't say it better. If we can help one person at a time, we don't need to win the masses. One at a time. Going off from that same line, I have a purpose. I have an awareness. I know many of you we're following your journey, and I want you to explain it to me, whichever way you want it. Open up and talk about the awareness and the journey that you're going through right now.
I don't know where to start.
From where the heart.
This was back in October 2022. I was sleeping. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. And I'm telling you, I'm telling this story because I think when you're in tune with God and your body, everything else is so amazing. I woke up with this pain on my right breast. It was different. We're women. We feel pain,
Of course.
right? So this was totally different. I can explain probably like electric shock. And right after that, I heard so clearly, go check your breast.
Wow.
So clearly.
Wow.
And for me, that was God.
Of course.
And I was not that brave by then because I knew something was wrong. So I kept going, working and working. A couple of months passed. And then I was like walking by a spa, and they had like these people doing ultrasound, not mammograms, because I'm kind of afraid of mammograms.
We all are.
By now, I have done so many that I'm like, okay, squeeze it.
Which one you want?
Exactly. So they were like doing ultrasound. You didn't need the prescription from your doctor. I was like, let me do this.
Wow.
She didn't say anything. And I was just feeling it. Like I can feel her. Like she found something that it was not right, but she didn't say anything. Then next day, the Hurricane Ian passed. So everything got delayed. But then I got a call from them that I had to go to my doctor right away. Urgent. So they sent me the report. It was very simple, but they classified from 1 to 4. I was 4 for the worst of an area that I had to check. So I called my primary doctor. She's not an expert, but we have a good relationship.
Of course.
She saw me, she read the report. She was, I have to send you to a breast surgeon. I'm telling all these things because I have a lot of people that call me like, where do I go after I touch something or I feel something? What do I do?
The process.
Exactly. So she sent me to this breast surgeon. It was the worst experience ever. I lay down and this doctor, she put the ultrasound and the first thing she said was, there it is. The cancer is there. It has blood flow, irregular. That's cancer. Like that. No biopsy, nothing. My husband was in front of me and he was like, don't you need a biopsy to say that? And she was like, oh yeah, we're going to do a biopsy, but I'm very sure that's cancer. I was like, ooh.
Wow. No tacto.
No bedside manner, anything. So that day I got so depressed. It's like, I didn't want to hear that like that.
Of course. No.
So I started like praying, God, I don't want this lady to take care of me. So my son-in-law, he started calling every single breast surgeon until he found one. She was very nice. She was the one who did my first biopsy. And But the first day she saw me, she saw the cancer. She knew it was cancer. But she told me, she didn't say, she only said, oh, there is a boo-boo there. And when she was about to leave, she told me, I just want you to know that it doesn't matter what is there, I'm going to fix it. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
So after the biopsy, she sat with me. She said, hey, girl, sit next to me. I was like, it's not good. So she was the one who told me I had cancer. And well, I have hard to say because I still have a very aggressive type of cancer.
Okay.
One of the oncologists who saw me, he told me to watch this movie. It's called The Living Proof. It was this guy who invented the antibodies. Since then, a lot of women are safe because of these antibodies he created. Before that, with my type of cancer, women, it was a death sentence. But just to have for you to have an idea,
of course,
in the movie, there is this lady, and she got her mammogram. It was clear. 4 months later, she was at stage 4.
Wow.
With this type of cancer. So that's why people are like, oh, what type of cancer do you have? You know, you've been through all these months and so, a long process. And it's because of that, because this type of cancer can go to anywhere, brain, everywhere. So it's, they're attacking that. So I'm triple positive, which is positive. My cancer feeds from estrogen, progesterone, and the protein HER2, which is the bad one. But I'm telling you this because I was in a hormone treatment, and I know a lot of women, this is a new trend, doing hormone treatment. If you have cancer, or if you can have a cancer or a genetic, that, some people can take those.
Can feed, because we all have the cells.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that was the first thing that I was shocked. Like, oh my God, how many women are doing this? And they don't know they could be feeding cancer. So this has been from them. I had another true story. One day I went to this office, to this doctor, very nice, but I heard, she's going to kill you. She's going to kill you. She's going to kill you. And I didn't want to tell my husband, because I was like, this is the second doctor. This is the second doctor. I'm going to tell him that, until I was so brave. I was like, I heard this. So he was like, well, let's pray and, ask God for guidance. So I prayed that night. Next day, I had this friend. She called me. And I didn't want to take the call, because I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone,
Of course.
I don't want to do photos. I'm like, I don't.
Going through your process.
Exactly. So then she texts me, I know you don't want to talk to me, but you have to hear me. I need to talk to you. I was like, okay, let me take the call. She said, you have to go to Moffitt. They saved my life. You have to go to Moffitt.
Wow. God sent you somebody to give you the answer where you needed to go. Wow.
And I'm so happy there. The place is amazing. And aside from create awareness and do your checkups, if you find that you have cancer, I recommend, based on my experience, to go to a place that they only do cancer.
Exactly.
So I go there, I do my labs. I have the labs in 45 minutes. My doctor can see the labs. I go to the doctor. This is not a promotion for,
no,
advertisement.
But it's important.
But you have everything.
For people that are listening and they're like, what do I go? What do I do?
Yeah. In other places, they send you to the lab, because you need to have a clearance before you get your chemo. Wow. Because your, white cells go down, platelets, you have a lot of stuff they have to watch. So you need a clearance. So they do the labs like 3-4 days. You have to go to another lab, then go to the doctor, then to go to infusions. So it's a lot. And through this process, you already go through a lot. So it made my life easier.
Thank you so much for opening up how important your support system
yes
has been for you. And who's your support system?
And yeah, I want to mention another thing
Uh-huh.
because this was one of the mistakes I made. Nobody in my family had breast cancer. And we think that, okay, nobody has breast cancer in my family. I'm not going to get breast cancer. And I had it. And I was triple positive. Nobody in my family. Nobody.
Wow.
So sometimes we rely on that. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Go check.
Yes. My girls out there, go check. We don't have nothing to lose except gain your life if something is wrong. I mean, a lot of time it's fear because we think, what is that saying that says, no, out of sight, out of what? Mind. Thank you, producer. Out of sight, out of mind. That's not true.
No.
Like, if there's something within us, we need to get checked. Do our mammograms, which, by the way, I'm due for this year for that. Because of story like you. It hit home so close that, you know, it's not certain people. It just happened to anybody. It could happen to anybody. Your support system. Who's Monica's support system warriors out there?
Oh my God, I have a lot of support squad with me. Mm-hmm. My husband has been amazing. My daughter, my husband, and I play tennis every day. I wake up like 5:30 a.m. and at 6 a.m. I'm at the court. Wow. Playing 2-3 hours a day.
What a commitment.
Yes. And it has helped me a lot with my mindset and my physical strength, everything. And they're so amazing. Just to have an idea, I had to go through the radiation, mm-hmm. and I was supposed to drive every day. So I was like, let me stay at this hotel. One of them called me, which hotel is that one? Oh, they grab information from me, and I
you don't notice
every time I fail. And then they send me like $500 gift card from Hilton. Aww. So I can stay there, or 7-Eleven gas gift card. So it's amazing. And sometimes, someone with cancer, you don't know what to give them. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things you can do for someone with cancer. And there's another thing that I found out through this process. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know what to say. And they try to comfort you. And this is the best advice I can give to people. Please. If you find someone with cancer or anything else, like they lost a son or, some mm-hmm. tragedy, just say you've been praying for them and you're there for them. Don't start with the overly positive stuff or, don't worry, I have a cousin who had breast cancer and she's okay. Even though it's breast cancer, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. The other day, somebody posted something about somebody else who died from breast cancer, and someone commented like, "Oh, it's still people dying from breast cancer." I was my God, yeah.
What an ignorant.
Yeah. So, you don't know what type of is the same breast cancer, but you don't know. You can die from it. And if you have someone who died from breast cancer, don't tell my husband. Yeah, that happened too.
Wow.
It's a lot. So, yeah.
But that knowledge is very important. Like you said, lack of knowledge, lack of touch or what to say or what to do. A lot of people maybe they just kind of give the space, so you don't know. The best way I think is just to check, hey, how are you? How are you feeling? I think, like what you said, I'm just praying for you is the best thing that we can do to an individual.
And I can say you said that, right? You texted me, how are you? I'm praying, our prayers are praying. Yeah.
Have you in my prayer. It's the most powerful thing that we can give to somebody. It's just you're giving it time, and I'm adding you to that prayer. God, send your angels, bring your comfort, because the only person that knows exactly what Monica needs is Him, is your Creator, right? So as human, we have limitation into that. We assume what we might think, and that's what we feel a lot of time. But bringing just that individual to prayer, God, whatever she's needing right now, whatever strength, because we all have different strength, right? Even from even going to a dentist and getting a cleaning. So many people are so afraid of that. I am. But you said something very important, and it's being have empathy for each other. Empathy is not feeling sorry for somebody. Being empathy is being present. I feel you. Are you all right?
Exactly.
If you close to that person and you know that person maybe can have an amazing tea, brings them tea, little things goes far. Little things can really tell that person, I'm there for you. You're not fighting alone.
Exactly.
Have you been feeling supported lately?
Yes.
And how's that system have helped you fight forward?
Oh my God. I don't know how I would have gone through all this without that, because I tried not to think about that, and even my doctors are like, "Oh, are you feeling tired? Like finally you feeling tired?" And I'm like, "No, I just played 3 hours of tennis," and they're like, "What?" So sometimes they're like, "Oh, how do you feel?" "Well, lately I'm feeling a little bit tired." "Oh, wow." And then my husband is like, "Yeah, but she plays like 3 hours of tennis, like hard tennis." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And they're like, "Lady, you're fighting breast cancer and you're doing that." So sometimes I feel like I don't have breast cancer, and I think that's the best thing I can do.
That's
not
amazing.
to think about that. If I tell you that this process is good, and I'll be lying.
Of course.
Sometimes you can eat, you have nausea all day, you have so many things. Sometimes I have fever. With this new treatment, I have chills, fevers, everything you can imagine. So sometimes at the beginning of this treatment, I had a very bad chemo, which I was allergic to, and thank God they changed it. They switched it to another one. But I remember when I finished my third chemo, that was the night before my fourth chemo. I told my husband, if they don't change this, this is it.
Wow.
And that was very hard for my husband. So that's when you need someone to tell you, you know what? You're gonna feel pain regardless. Maybe you feel good now, but if you don't do anything, it's gonna be worse and you can die. So this is the moment you have to go through this, because something better is going to happen. So sometimes you need that. You need someone to be tough with you.
Yes.
And I know he has his moments, but
he's fighting for you. He's fighting for you, and you can see that. And
that's how important the support team is.
It's beautiful to see you speak. I have no doubt that there's a brighter future after this. You have not been just having this conversation, you and me. Like everything that come into your life is to give you a different level of control, but not a control that you believe in yourself, Monica. We talked about the real estate. We talked about how beautiful in the photography. This next level and how you beating it, you're going to be able to bring so much awareness to women that sometimes we're a little baby with little things that happen to us. We're pissed off just because maybe our husband came with dirty shoes into the house and you like a certain way. Stupid crap.
That's true.
But when you're fighting for life, when you're fighting for your daughter, when you're fighting for your husband, when you're fighting for those that love you, you don't have any other option. Is when you truly test yourself what you're made of.
That's so true.
And you're a fighter. Once you conquer this, which you're almost there, we're going to come back and you're going to tell me all the beautiful things and all the amazing other companies and all the other things that you're going to be able to impart. Because this is not it for you, Monica. This is just a little shake to push you to maybe all the things that you put in the back burner because maybe you thought, I'm too old, I'm too this, I've done so much, I've done that. You have so much to give and so many people to motivate, impart, that we definitely, and there's an army out there that are praying for you, because I know that's the most powerful thing you need right now. And you're going to tell me right now what's next for Monica.
Oh my God. I don't know. I have thought on a lot of things. But for now, I think I'm growing in a different way. In a different way. And we talk about the tennis group on the tennis team I have. Mm-hmm. And I play with ladies with 84 years old, 80 years old. And before I came to the group, they were not so passionate about tennis, but since I started, I'm like, I want to play every day. I'm pushing them.
Wow.
And then they're like, Monica, they're like this, like, Monica, I had a very bad back pain this morning. And I was like, I'm not going to go play tennis. But then I think, it's 6 a.m. Monica is already at the court with all that she's been going through, and she's there. I have to go. So now they always go to the court. They like, we have perfect attendance.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I think I'm growing in a different way, and sometimes we are so focused in making money. Mm-hmm. And all my life, I have been an entrepreneur and looking for the next challenge. And it's never enough. And I'm like, oh, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Always challenging myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But when you go through something like I've been going through, you're going to start to prioritize what's really important in your life. And it's like a lot of people have texted me and messaged me like, wow, right now I'm like, I think I have a lot of problems, but when I see you, I'm like, I have nothing. My life is blessed. So that keeps me going right now. Mm-hmm. I have thought about writing a book, about doing so many things, but I think I have to go through this process and live my process and let God guide me, because He has started guiding me since the very beginning. And sometimes we don't have time to listen to God. And we start doing things and then we're like, oh man, this didn't work. But did we really ask God and let Him guide you? So we have a great path. And my mom used to tell me this, and I always remember, when everything goes smooth, is God with you. Mm-hmm. If something is like a lot of
negativity,
and struggle, and this is not for you. Mm-hmm. This is not because God doesn't want you to go through pain. You don't want your kids to go through pain. Why God wants you to be like that? Of course, you're going to grow from them, but there is a path. If you let God guide you, it's going to be easier. So right now, I'm learning to let God, let go and let God. Mm-hmm. That when you're so controller like me, you want to control everything.
I know a few.
Yeah, this is a big and huge step.
Trust.
Yeah,
trusting the process.
Yeah.
How important faith is for you?
Very important. Because every time my daughter calls me and she's like, I'm so proud of you. When you have kids, that's your main purpose in this life. When you have kids, you want to guide them. And there's nothing you can say to your kids that makes sense. It's just example.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to learn from what you do, not what you tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how important this is. So I have seen growth in my family, and I feel like I'm a different person now. And I want to be humble. I don't want to do this because I want likes or this and that. I want to be humble and be guided by God. I think that's the main thing, because I can control this. Cancer can teach you that you can control this. When I had my surgery, I was hoping that everything was going to be clear. When they told me I still had cancer, it was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the moment that you have to say, I'm not going to be mad at God. He has his purpose. And I have some people that I think they got mad because they think I don't have enough faith. But faith is not to think that everything you want, God is going to give it to you. Faith is that you're going to trust that God has best plans for you.
Oof, absolutely.
And you believe that? You have to go through, and he knows what he's doing. So
what's the best for us?
Yeah, and it's hard. When you're controller, it's hard. So I think that's my main growth right now.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's just music to my ear to hear everything that you said. Not before off camera and mic, we were talking about very big journey that I went with my family, and we're going to share in the future. But definitely that part, trusting in faith, is not that God is going to heal me. Faith is also knowing whatever it's in store for me, I'm going to accept it because you're going to give me the strength for what I need and what my journey is all about, not what I desire. When we live a life like that, it's a life with less complications. We complicate everything because just like the Bible says that he made us to his image, we tend to control. We have, I guess, that little trait from him. But that's when God takes control of our life and said, no, mijita. I'm the one that controls you in a sense of what I want for you. Even though we have the desire to pick whatever. But it's like having our children that we know what's the best for them, but they still want to go through that pain. And you're like, okay, go. Si te revienta la cabeza, you scratch yourself, they'll come hurting, and then they come, I told you so. But trusting, I think, is the part that us human always will continue to fight until the day that we're no longer on this earth. The day that we can kind of be in peace with the things that we cannot control, we can live a life a little bit fuller and more peaceful.
Wow. Yeah.
And this is a perfect awareness, perfect journey process that you're on. And I can't wait for Monica Bonilla 2.0.
2.0.
Watch world for that. I don't want to add nothing else to this. It's been so inspiring. We can see your passion. We can see your trust. And that you just said is exactly what God wanted to see from you. The rest, He'll take control. Thank you so much.
Love you, Gea.
I love you too.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's been a pleasure.
What you're doing is amazing. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
You're changing lives too.
And you're going to change so much more. Thank you.
You too.
Until next time, see you all.